Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. It's Fiona Whitten from Oakville Crafts, and today I'm popping on just to, well, not just, to share with you a card that I made a couple of weeks ago, and I did post it on my Facebook page, and it's had lots of comments and questions. So I thought I would actually show you today how I made it. I have to thank Linda for this. Linda's one of the acorns, and in one of our Monday morning get-togethers, we made this card, which is the one that I said I had posted a photograph of it, and it's called a lattice fold card, although some people call it a braided card as well. So I have to, put hands up. It's not my original idea. There are lots of templates and things out there that you can find. So Linda shared with us how to make it, and she used a template from Brandy's cards, and I'll share the link to that on the Facebook page later, so that you don't have to go looking for it. So it looks like this. So this is the template. My original card, when I printed it, I just told it A4 and it printed at 93%. But I have just printed it off again at 100%. So it has 3 of these on, which you're going to have to cut one out to use, and I'll show you that. But this is the template. As I said, there are lots of them out there on Pinterest. So if you're not sure, as I said, I will post on the Facebook page the link to this, or if you really want to, you can obviously go and search for yourself. So this is the template I'm going to use, and I'll show you. So I've cut it out in that all I've done is I've cut it so that where it says top of card, it matches the top of my card, and then I've just cut down this particular line. And then I've fixed it to my card front. So this is a standard piece of half A4 that's been cut in half. And you just fix this to that. So that, and you could use masking tape along here if you want to. I would suggest not this edge, simply because this is the edge that you're going to be cutting. Okay. So then the next thing you need is a pair of paper snips. She says, I'm just finding hers. And making sure that this line here, this edge, is lined up with the edge of your card. You're simply going to use these lines as a guide to cut down. So the first one's going to be here, like so. And you're going to do that all the way down. Because the card is folded, you are actually cutting through both pieces. So don't be afraid of that. It can be a bit tough, especially on the fold. But yeah, just fold all the way, cut all the way down, following those lines. Try and cut them in one go, she says, without having to move your scissors. I've got a couple more to do. There we go. Now, US card sizes are different from ours, so they actually tend to be shorter but wider. So don't be afraid of the fact that this is actually not going right down to the bottom. Don't worry about it, okay? So once you've done that, you can remove the template like that. So you will have, when you open up the card, a series of, I guess, arrows, chevrons, whatever you want to call them, like this, going down your fold. And then once you've done that, it's just a question then of actually folding these pieces to make the braid. So if I open up this card, you can see exactly what it is that you need to do. So I'm going to sit down now because I was standing up to do that. So the top piece there, obviously you're not going to do anything with, but you want to take the next one down and you are going to fold it over. Try and make a nice neat score there, like that. Then you're going to miss the next one and go to the one after that, and you're just going to repeat all the way down. So miss one, let's move that out of the way, fold one, try and not do what I just did, try and actually get it so that this fold here in this score line in the middle follows all the way down. So miss one, fold one, miss one, fold one, like so. And then you've got the last one, so you've missed one, and then you're going to fold this one down, okay, like that. I'm going to get my bone folder wherever I put it. There it is. So I'm just going to burnish these folds like that. Like so. And then the last thing to do is you're simply going to take these points and you're going to pop them under the point of the one below, which is easier said than done. So it's just going to fold like that. And that point then holds that one down. And you're just going to pop them through all the way down, like so. So there is your lattice. Now this one, it's up to you. I'm actually going to glue mine down. Then I know that it is, it's not going to go anywhere. You don't need a lot, just really on that point. Oops, let's hold it for a second. And that is it. So after that, it's really up to you as to what you want to do. So when you fold the card, and you'll probably want to burnish it again, this time on these pieces. So there is your lattice. Oops, don't need that template at the moment. So it looks like that. And then, as I said, it's up to you how you want to decorate it. This particular one, I made a panel, and then I used some of the hand-penned paper, and then a scalloped stitched rectangle from the Stitch So Sweetly, and then this is the hand-penned petals stamp set. So that's what I did with that. Now you could, if you wanted to, glue some paper behind there so that it's not open. It's really up to you. But I thought I would try something a little different. So this is the basic one. So it's, as I said, you just use the template, snip, and then fold down alternate pieces. I'm going to do, and this time I'm going to do something slightly different. So I'm going to take a piece of our basic white. So this is cut slightly smaller than the card front. So the card front would be 10.5 by 14.9. So this is 10 by 14.4. So it mats and layers quite neatly onto that. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a lattice down here. So rather than on the edge, I'm going to put one not in the middle but slightly offset. So first of all, I need to put a score line in. And I also kind of need to measure how far these go, because I don't really want them to cut all the way through. So if I do it, was it a ruler? That will probably be easier than me trying to. So it's 2.5 centimetres from that, or just under 2.5 centimetres from the edge. So if I score it at, let's say, 3, move my cutting blade out the way because I do not want to cut it. That would be a bit of a disaster. And I'm going to use this 3 here. Nice thing about the trimmer is it has measurements not just on the left hand side, but it goes up to 3 3/4 roughly on the left hand side. So it means if you use smaller measurements to use, then your card is still completely flat. So I'm going to do that. So I've scored it at 3. Now this could be a complete disaster. I hope not. I hope not. So fold it, and we're going to bring back the template. So for this time, because I'm using a slightly smaller piece, it will fit. You see where this says the top and the bottom is pretty much the spot on. So again, just use a paper clip to clip that template on. And again, we're going to cut down. So you can use these templates a couple of times. I wouldn't be too worried about it. But obviously it gets 3 on a piece when you print it. So if you end up ripping one, you just obviously cut out the next one and just keep going. So we're going to go all the way down on this one. Like so, make sure which ones I've done. So a couple more to do. Last one. Like that. Okay. So exact same principle. Open up the card. Now this time we're going to have the chevron coming down here. So again, don't do the top bit, but fold down that one. But only fold it and try and make sure that it's in line with the score line. Miss one, fold one. Miss one, fold one. Trying to make sure that this is all level and lined up. Although we're not going to be folding this in that, because it's not an edge of a card, so it will be sitting in the middle of the card. So from that point of view, it's not really an issue. Okay, burnish that one, and then we're going to fold down this one, and I'm going to make sure that it stops in line with the bottom because I don't really want it to be overhanging. So that's what it looks like. And then again, we're going to tuck that point in behind the point that's below it. So it's like that. And then again, this one, I'm going to glue it down. Now, if you don't like having all those creases in there, you can actually just use a bone folder. And although you can't erase them completely, you can certainly flatten them so that they're not so prominent. Obviously, don't do just what I did, and that was actually take out the point, because you want that on there. And then, so as I said, I'm going to glue this, oops, down. Like so. Like that. These don't really need gluing, simply because they're quite, if you look at the reverse side, they're actually quite away behind the one that's pointing up. And then you can either just simply glue it to your card front, or you can put some double-sided paper behind it, which is what I thought I would do. So I've got my hand-penned paper like that. So this base card is Pool Party, so I'm kind of looking for something that's got Pool Party in it. So I think that one will be quite cute. No, is that it? No, but I think that would be quite cute anyway. So let's see how much of it will we actually see from behind. Not a lot. Actually, maybe I will go for some more Pool Party, because there's more Pool Party in it. And you don't need a whole sheet of it, so if you've got scraps, as long as it's wider than this strip here, then that's really all that matters. I quite like that bit. So I'm going to trim that. So let's quickly measure this. It's so if I cut a piece that is 5 centimeters wide by 14.4, because I know that is 14.4 there, and I quite liked this bit here, so I'm just going to cut 5 centimeters wide. Sorry, I've just realised I'm off to the side on this. I don't want it to be 14.4, because I obviously don't want it to be showing on outside of this piece. So that is going to go behind there, and you can always trim off a little bit if needs be. It's not so easy to add a bit, but it's always easy to trim off a piece. Let's see, I'm just kind of moving it till I can find somewhere. So I quite like it like that there. So I'm going to glue that to the back. So we can put some glue on these pieces. Because obviously these bits are not going to be seen from the other side. So we can put quite a bit on there and put a piece, some across there, some down here, maybe just a little smidging along here, just to make sure it doesn't end up coming off. And then just simply glue this on, as I said, to wherever it is that you quite like it. I'm just going to go here. And it doesn't matter if it's slightly skew-if, because, as I said, it's just behind, so you're not going to know. Obviously, in a perfect world, then it would match up perfectly, but it's not a perfect world. This is a handmade card. So that's going to go on there like that. Now I need something here. So the $64 million question is what? Now I could just put a sentiment, but I think I'm actually going to use a stamp, and I'm going to use an image from the Colour and Contour Stamp Set. So I think this one here will be quite cute coming down here. So it's a Photopolymer Stamp Set. Let's double check that it will actually fit, because obviously there'd be nothing worse than stamping on there and finding out that it doesn't actually fit. So that would be fine. The Photopolymer Stamp Sets come now in the case, and they've got the images printed on the reverse side of the insert for the card, for the box. So you can move all these onto here as and when. You can, or you can just leave them in the plastic in sheeting if you want to. It's up to you. Now I need a block. Let's see. I need one that's big enough, but one that's not so huge that I end up making a bit of a mess. And I also need, because it's photopolymer, my Stampin' Pierce mat, because I need something with a bit of give on it. Now this is where I'm hoping and I'm praying that this actually works first time. Let's see, where do I actually want the image? Do I want to put a sentiment on? If I want to put a sentiment on, I probably want my image. Let's see. That far up? No. There, I think. And then I've got a little bit of space for a sentiment. So let's get out Memento and ink this one. I'm going to stamp onto the grid paper first, just to make sure that the image will stamp. Sometimes these the stamp sets come and they've got a slight film on them from the manufacturing process. So if it's a brand new stamp, it's quite often a good idea just to simply stamp onto a scrap piece of paper or grid paper or whatever. I'm going to re-ink now. Like so, and then I'm going to be brave. Push comes to shove, if I make a boo-boo, I can always restamp it onto another piece of basic white and then cut it out and stick it on top. There are ways and means to sort things out. No, that's fine, so that's good. And then what sentiment should I put on? Now these are quite large, so I don't know. Now this is a two-step stamping stamp set, so you have your outline image, which are these, and then you have additional images, which are the pieces to stamp in here. So you can use these to stamp these images, or you could simply colour, or you could just leave it black and white. It's really up to you. And the other thing that's worth noting is that I thought, okay, well I can use that stamp there, but these this stamp set is actually shown at 85%, so that they could actually get all the images onto the front of the box. So don't think for that if you see that it will fit on. 99% of the time it will, but there are odd occasions where they've actually shrunk the images on the front of the box. So you do need to be careful and to make sure that you read here to see if it says anything. It'll normally tell you, if it doesn't say anything about percentages, then you know it's 100%. But it will tell you whether it's a two-step stamping set, whether it's a distinctive stamping set, or whatever. So failing that, you can simply just place, because they're photopolymer, you can place the stamp on over to see, so that's not going to work. Okay, so I will go and find another stamp set in a minute, but I am going to use the two-step stamping technique. I'm just going to put this image on here, and I really do need some, I think I'm going to use the pool party again. Sorry, I just realised I didn't get my inks together. Let's quickly run over here. Hopefully you can hear me. Luckily, everything's usually pretty much to hand in here. Those of you who took part in the catalogue launch the other week will have seen me doing a walkthrough of my craft room. So this is a distinctive stamp, and what I mean by that is that you will find that there are areas of the image that are lighter than the others. So it's just to give some shading. So I'm just checking this out and making sure it is stamping. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to bring back my image. And it needs to go that way. And the reason I know that is because this little bit here is this piece up here. Some of them fit perfectly. Others are designed not to. So this is going to be interesting because I'm standing up. That's fine. But it doesn't matter if it doesn't quite match up. Don't worry about it. So we've got that piece, and that's my base card. So we're going to put that on there, like that. Still need to find a sentiment. Let's see, what do I have to hand? Oh, that's not really what I want. I've got lots of stamp sets here from various projects, but I'm not sure that a Christmas one will be suitable. It might look a bit odd. Let's see, what does this one say? Oh, that one's too big as well. Alright, I will finish this off. I'll use that one. Yeah, see, this stamp set doesn't say anything about a percentage here, so I know that this is at 100%. So I'm just going to use that Hey Friend because that will fit. I think that's the one. And I can just double check it by putting it on here like that. Yep, so that will fit. And I could stamp it obviously in Pool Party, or I could bring in another colour from here, or I could just leave it as black, which I think is what I'm going to do. Yeah. Not sure that I want to bring in another colour at the moment. This one I've used before, so I know it should be okay. There we go. So I can then put that onto the card front. Now you can glue it on, or you can use dimensionals, foam pads, which is what I think I'm going to use. Now, obviously you can't see that from the front, so don't worry about it, because that's just what we glued to the reverse side of the card front, so that we had something showing through the lattice. You don't have to put anything on there. You could just leave it as blank, so you would simply have the Pool Party showing through. Or you could have got, or you could get another piece of Pool Party, or another completely different colour, something that coordinates, and emboss it and then glue it behind. So there are all sorts of things that you can do with these cards. Just because I'm showing you one way, it doesn't mean that there isn't other ways to do it. So I'm going to put that on the front like that, and then obviously should really do the inside of the card, and again that's another 10 by 14.4, and I'm going to stamp image again, and this is why I have scratch paper underneath. This is actually some grid paper from the Stamparatus. Saves me using a whole sheet of the larger grid paper. So that's that piece. Then I'm going to do the flowers. And again, it goes this way round because that's the small flower there. Like that. So that's going to get glued inside the card, like so. And then of course you can carry on with envelopes, anything else that you want to send. If you're making if it's to go with a gift, then obviously you can do a gift tag and coordinate the whole lot. So that's that. So there you go. So that's my lattice card with it going on the inside, and then that's the one with it on the edge. And I'm sure there's lots of other ideas out there, but these are the ones that I have made so far. And of course it's no reason that you use white here. You could use coloured cardstock. I just chose white, but there you go. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I know I'm running behind a bit at the moment trying to get everything up onto YouTube and blogged and dimensions and stuff, so I will get this done. And I will post the link to the template if you want to give this a go. As I said, or failing that, if you want to go and hunt on Pinterest or just Google lattice cards, braided cards, I'm sure, and then click on images, and then you should be able to find something there too. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that. Next week it's card and a cuppa. Kits are almost done. They'll be going in the post today. A couple of other things to remind you. The host offer is still going on, so if you have a large order, or if you and a group of friends want to gather and put in an order, if it comes to £200 or more, then instead of the usual 20%, the £20 you get to spend for free, there's £40. And if you want to be able to shop at a discount in the future, then why not think about joining the Acorns and joining all the other fun that we have, and you can save on your shopping. So get in touch if you're interested in any of those, and I will be back next Wednesday with Card and a Cuppa. Take care. Bye.